I've been going to the Sunday night group probably since like end of last summer. And I remember I walked in the door and someone was like, "Hey, you want a beer?" And I was like, I thought this was church.
King Street Church is a network of small worship gatherings that focuses on forming Christian community among people that have never experienced it before. We have solid Christians, we have Christians with big doubts, we have people that aren't sure if they're Christians, we have people that are sure they're not Christians, yet every week we open the Bible together and we encounter God together.
King Street Church grew out of a conversation between Luke Edwards and Jason Biasy, who was the former senior pastor here at Boone United Methodist Church.
He had talked with a few folks that were wanting to establish a presence back on King Street. Boone UMC used to be there about 15 years ago and had missed being present in that area.
Just a conversation around how do we begin reaching out into the community to reach people who perhaps would never come here to the main campus and be a part of the life of the congregation in kind of a traditional sort of way.
So when Jason asked me if I'd be willing to start some kind of campus downtown Boone, I said I'd love to, that it'd probably look different than the other stuff that we were doing at Boone UMC, but I was really willing to do that. So out of that conversation, we just started dreaming and connecting with people that loved downtown and loved the people downtown, and King Street Church was born.
The primary way that we support King Street Church and what Luke is doing there on our behalf is just giving him the freedom and the space to do what he's doing and to put really no strings on it, no expectations that folks who come to King Street Church will ever become a member of Boone United Methodist Church in the sense of coming here for worship, although certainly it's great when that happens, when people find connections in both places. But really the expectation is that what Luke is doing there is church.
I think it's the unique part of Fresh Expressions as a model for church is that we have creative church that is birthed out of traditional church, with new forms of church that emerge out of a traditional form of church, and that they don't work against each other, but they work together.
So we want to be prayerfully supportive of him. We have folks who go and volunteer with the ministries and small groups that Luke has. And of course there's the financial support that the church provides in terms of salary support and benefits and ministry support.
The relationship with Boone UMC allows King Street Church to be freer for creativity. So things like the committees at Boone UMC and the administrative staff allow King Street Church to focus on ministry outside the walls of the church. And without it, we wouldn't be able to function.
What's important is having a fair amount of tolerance for risk and uncertainty, willingness to be creative, and to sort of live with things that aren't always even and neat and clean around the edges.
I think the most unique thing about King Street Church is the people. It's not your typical church people, and we don't deal with typical church people things. We're dealing with some pretty real things. We've got some of our best members and leaders are incarcerated or were incarcerated. We've got women with histories of abuse. We've got people with histories of addictions, and we're being church together. And another thing is we've got people that aren't necessarily Christian either that are experiencing Christian community for the first time. So I think that's one of the most unique things about us is that we're a church of some Christians, but some folks that aren't Christian, and some people that are in the process of becoming Christian.
The traditional church has to get over its fear of new forms of church, and new forms of church have to get over their fear of the traditional church. We have to work together. We make each other better. We bring different people into the community of God, and that's what matters.